She did anything for her kids. She did anything for whoever.
They're worried about all of this violence in their community.
You can't keep screaming Black Lives Matter, going to these Black Lives Matter marches. You can't keep wearing Black Lives Matter sweatshirts and everything is hashtag BLM when you are part of the problem. Hey BGU family, welcome back to another installment of BGU News. As always, make sure you like, share, subscribe, turn the notifications on so that you never miss a new episode. Let's go ahead and get into today's story. Today's story is coming out of the nation's capital, Washington, D.C. 41-year-old Angela Washington was a married mother of 4 and grandmother from Suitland, Maryland. She was described by friends and family as smiley and bubbly, and had a passion for helping others. Her husband describes her as the best mother and the best wife on earth. She worked for Washington Field Protective Services, based in Oxon Hill, Maryland, and had recently returned to her job as a security guard after a long hiatus. She also had been promoted. She became a special police officer at the Oak Hill Apartments, an apartment complex located in the 3300 block of Willow Road in 10th Place in Southeast Washington, D.C.
A special police officer is commissioned to protect a specific property. They can carry a weapon on that property, and they do have full authority to make arrests at that location. So essentially an armed security guard. They have to be licensed and undergo training.
Last Tuesday night, she went there to check on officers who were on patrol when the unthinkable happened.
41-year-old Angela Washington, she was in uniform and on duty when she was shot. And we've just learned Angela was a mother of 4 and a grandmother of 1. She was shot at an apartment complex last night on 10th Place in Congress Heights. There were no other victims, but neighbors who spoke to our Scott Broom say they are so tired of the seemingly nonstop violence in their neighborhood.
So this is still a very active scene. Police are still in the area. And this morning, they're looking for whoever shot and killed the female special police officer. We know that this shooting happened around 8:40 last night on 10th Place Southeast near Oak Hill Apartments in Congress Heights. We saw a lot of police activity within that apartment complex as well. The Metro Special Police Department is a private law enforcement agency. They provide police, security, and protective services within the district and have full arrest powers on the property or within the area that they are assigned to a project. We are told that this special police officer was on duty.
Residents here at the Oak Hill Apartments, all of whom said they are reluctant to appear on camera, said that a new management recently took over and has been beefing up security, including adding new fences and armed security. Residents said that security has included 2 contract armed special police officers to provide security at night. Last night, one of those officers, 41-year-old Angela Washington, was shot and killed.
A bullet went in right here on my vehicle.
Neighboring resident DeShonta Brown pointed out a bullet hole in her car on nearby 10th Place Southeast and said the incident at the apartment complex sounded like a gun battle.
It's scary. My other family don't even want to come and visit me because they don't know what's going to happen. You know, and you shouldn't have to feel like that.
These buildings need the security that all the special police provide?
Yeah, I think they need more than that. I mean, but it's not only just the police. They can't do it by themselves. The residents got to help out, too.
Brown said there have been numerous shooting incidents in and around the Oak Hill complex in the past year. Metropolitan Police report the gunfire that killed Angela Washington happened about 8:40 last night. No suspects or arrests have been announced. She was in uniform and on the job, police reported. Residents said they're dismayed that the addition of armed security here not only hasn't stopped the shooting, it cost an on-duty armed security officer her life.
Washington became the latest victim in a growing number of homicides that has now reached 154 in the district, a 12% increase from this time last year. This was the 3rd shooting in Southeast on that particular day. During a mass shooting, it left 5 people injured, including a 13-year-old. 2 more people, including a 9-year-old, were also shot all before 5 p.m. following an argument between 2 children.
Police right now, they say they are looking for a white Camry with dark tinted windows, and they are offering up to a $25,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest and conviction in this case.
Chief Robert Conti gave a statement Tuesday night in which he asked for the public's help in identifying the individual responsible for Washington's death.
We're asking for the public's help. Anyone who has information with respect to what happened tonight here in the 3300 block of 10th Place, to please call us at 202-727-9099, or they can text us anonymously at 50411.
We talked to some neighbors who were here on the scene and actually heard the gunshots. They say they're worried about all of this violence in their community.
I was at my home watching TV. The windows were open, so I heard the gunshots. I also heard return fire, at least that's what I assumed it was. Within a few minutes, I heard the police coming, and I couldn't tell which direction they were, but I realized it was pretty close to my home. I mean, this is a route that children take to school. I jog around this route. I mean, it's not safe in this area, and I'm not sure exactly how to fix it, but something needs to definitely change.
Now, that shooting occurred a little after 8:30 tonight, but there were two other shootings we covered today here in Southeast, both of which involved children. A matter of fact, one of those shootings occurred less than a block away from where a 2-year-old was actually shot last month. Shortly before 5 p.m., D.C. police responded to the 1500 block of Morris Road Southeast after 2 people were shot. Assistant Chief Andre Wright said a 9-year-old boy suffered non-life-threatening injuries after he was grazed by a bullet. He added an adult man in his 30s was also sent to the hospital in critical condition.
From the preliminary information that we have right now is that this was a targeted shooting.
Wright said officers learned the boy had had an argument with a 9-year-old girl. Sometime after that argument, another person showed up and started shooting.
This is unacceptable. You know, it's really outrageous. I agree with you. I can't think of any topic and where 2 9-year-olds have a disagreement where a gun would be introduced by anyone.
A lawsuit that had been joined last year by the D.C. Attorney General's office alleged housing violations at the property and also said the neighborhood had experienced a steady stream of violent crime. The complex has since come under new ownership. Representatives from the management company did not return calls. Efforts to reach Oak Hill's owners were not successful. Washington's daughter describes her as such.
My mother was a hardworking woman. She did anything for her kids. She did anything for whoever. She took people in when they was down bad.
For the killer, her daughter has this message.
I just feel as though whoever did it, if it was their intentions to do it, I just hope I could say what I want to say. I just hope you die and burn in hell.
She just wanted to help make a change, man. She wanted to help the police officers that are out there. She wanted to bond, and she just wanted respect, man. She just wanted respect, man.
I can honestly say this isn't a story that is surprising to me. Having always worked in that area as far as teaching goes, this is a very familiar scenario. I pray that this woman's murderer is caught. A lot of times stuff like this happens and people are never held accountable for their actions. A lot of people are blaming the mayor, the city council, and the police department, and I honestly don't think that's who should be getting the blame. The community needs to be getting the blame because a lot of time these people in this community, they know what time it is. They know what's going on. But, you know, this no snitch culture is a very real thing. This, I know for a fact, is the culture of this community, and it's been like this for a very long time. I can't say that I don't understand it. I'm not saying that I agree with it, but a lot of people are scared. You know, this is a very small community. Everybody knows each other. Some way, somehow, everybody's related. Everybody's everyone's cousin, fake brother, fake sister. So the minute that you tell somebody something, chances are that person is going to know probably within the next couple hours. If police are providing a way for individuals with information to submit information anonymously, I highly encourage people to do so. Utilize that resource, because the more that people keep letting stuff like this slide, the more that it's going to continue happening. The more that people are going to begin feeling invincible, like they can get away with whatever it is that they choose to do. The crazy thing is that when people are seeking to harm their target, a lot of times they're not hitting their target. You're hitting innocent people that is now consisting of innocent children. At what point do we draw the line? You can't keep screaming Black Lives Matter going to these Black Lives Matter marches. You can't keep wearing Black Lives Matter sweatshirts and everything is hashtag BLM when you are part of the problem. And when I say you are part of the problem, not just you are the one that's pulling the trigger, but you're the one that's also keeping this information to yourself. The more that you keep this information to yourself, the more that this is going to continue happening, period. I'm sure it's not easy losing a loved one. And if you hold that key piece of information to provide closure to that family, please find it in your heart to find some way to just get that information out to police. In the words of one of my favorite YouTubers, DJ J from the AFC podcast, if you see something, say something. Thank you so much for joining me on today's installment of BGU News. As always, please make sure you like, share, subscribe, turn those notifications on so that you never miss a new episode. If you have any stories that you would love to see featured on BGU News, please do not hesitate to send an email to BlackGirlUnLOST@gmail.com. Until next time, peace.